Today, we're going to talk about something I believe is a very important topic, and it deals with what it means to truly surrender to God. There are times in our lives when we face challenges and uncertainties, and it's in those moments where we need to trust God's plan and let go of our worries and fears that we sometimes call plans. So, how do we do that? Have you ever thought that question? How do I do that? Let go of my worries and fears that I call plans and hold on and trust in God's plan. And how do we let go of that and give it over to God? Well, I want to share with you what I found were three key insights from reading a parable in Matthew, the book of Matthew, chapter 20, verse 1 through 16. I found three key insights that I believe we can draw from this powerful parable to use in our life when it comes to trusting God with our life. But before we get started, I just want to say this to you. If you're new here, I want you to know that I created this faith-based content, and my aim is to help others grow spiritually and become better fit for the Master's hand. And if you haven't done so already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join our wonderful community. Now back to this teaching. This parable I was talking about that you'll find over in Matthew chapter 20, verse 1 through 16, is a parable that Jesus told of a vineyard owner who goes out and hire these workers to work in his vineyard at various parts of the day. And he paid them according to what he felt was a fair wage. And as it turned out, it was the same wage from those that started in the morning to those that came on just before the end of the day. And regardless how long they worked, like I said, they all got the same income, but not all of them felt the same way about that. And this led to some grumbling among the workers who were first hired. But the owner, he let them know that this is my money. I can do whatever I want to do to it. But he did so in a way that was gracious and generous as far as in its explanation. So, what can we learn from this parable? Well, first, what we need to do is what those workers at first didn't do, and that is we need to look at things from God's perspective. See, we need to trust that God always knows what He wants done according to His will. So God's ways are not our ways. And you'll see that often we have this limited perspective and we want to see the immediate result. We want to see everything, how it started, what things went on in the middle, and ultimately how it ends. And we want to understand every step of the way. I mean, our plans, when we make them, aren't as detailed as we want God's plans to be detailed. But the truth is, God understands exactly He's working in our life and what He's working out of our life. And the truth is, His plans go well beyond our comprehension. And so, knowing that, what we must do in order for us to let go of our plans and take a stronger hold of God's plan is that we need to trust in Him with all our heart and lean not to our own understanding, and in all His ways acknowledge Him, for He shall direct our path. Because God, tell you the truth, and whether you believe it or not, God is really good at taking all the things that are in our life and working them out for our good. He really is. Secondly, we need to trust God's plan, because if we try to find other plans, our plan B, C, and D, and Ray Ray and Pookie's them plan, we'll find that all those alternative plans amount to nothing when it's compared to God's plan. So, in other words, when you trust in God's plan, you'll find that there is no comparison. And that's the thing that is key in being able to let go of comparisons of what you have versus what somebody else have, or even envying others because of what they have. It seems as if they're gaining more than what you're gaining. The truth of the matter is, like the saying goes, everything looks green on the other side. Just check the water bill and you'll see why. Because just as the workers in the parable became envious of each other's wages, we can't fall into that trap either. of comparing our lives with others and feeling discontented by what we have. Because when you let go of the comparisons and you trust in God's provisions, you'll find that God added in some extra things that He may have not needed to add in somebody else's things. And so you by far have the right things for yourself. And these things are, for instance, to help you find peace and contentment in every situation that you're faced with, every circumstance you deal with. You'll realize that the plan that God has for you is perfectly designed. And compared to somebody else, their plan is perfectly designed for them because God knows exactly what to do with all his plans. And lastly, God is so gracious with his plan. He always makes sure that we have more than enough when everything is done. Yeah. That third insight, when you look at it and you begin to seek God's grace in your life, you realize just as the vineyard owner showed unexpected generosity to his workers, no matter at what point they started, it was always enough for everybody. It's only when they begin to compare, only begin to say, well, this is how long I've been working, how long you've been working, and all that stuff, where things didn't seem like it added up. But truly, it was it was more than enough. Matter of fact, I take that back. It was just enough. It was like manna from heaven, where they got just enough. And when we lean on his grace, we can find strength to surrender our worries and fears, meaning surrender our plans and take on his plan, because his plan, we can trust that his plan is for our life and our good. Amen. So let's wrap it up today. I want to encourage you to take some time to reflect on these insights and ask yourself, what is it that I need to surrender to God today? What is it that I need to surrender to God today? Maybe you might want to listen to this video once or twice, to get the understanding of the 3 points of it all, the three key points throughout this teaching, where you need to look at things from God's perspective, and when you trust in God's plan, you'll find there's no comparison, and then you'll realize that God's gracious plan is always enough for you to have more than enough. Go back over this and re-listen to it, and then ask your question: what is it that I need to surrender to God today so that I can enjoy the benefits of his grace and mercy? And whether it's worry, whether it's a fear, whether it's a desire to control, I pray that you'll find the courage to let go and trust in God's plan for your life. Amen. Amen. Look here, folks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, stand strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Be blessed.